Nothing in this video should be taken as medical advice. Consult your own doctor for any medical related issues. Do not consult with actors who play doctors on TV. And don't forget to smile. Consult your doctor before smiling. Hi, how you doing? I am Tom and this is my son, Travis. And we are both type 1 diabetics. And what we have done here is we have created this thing called the Diabetic team. And the Diabetic team is exactly that. It's a team of diabetics because we're all on the same team. You know, we deal with similar frustrations. We all have those crappy days and those days that just suck, right? And we just don't know what to do. Sometimes we feel like we're just helpless and nobody understands, right? Well, guess what? We are here and we're building this team of people that understand so that we can all kind of join together and have that positive energy together. So I wanted to share a quick story about how I became a diabetic. It was in January 2006 is when I got diagnosed, and guess what? I was diagnosed as a type 2. And you know, if you've had any crazy stories with doctors, you know what I'm talking about. My doctor misdiagnosed me as a type 2, when in fact he didn't do the right blood tests for me, and had he done that, he would have found out I was a type 1. But because I was 32, he just didn't think to run those kinds of tests and just assumed I was a type 2. So had my ups and downs, but it wasn't until 2008, shortly after getting prescribed insulin from another doctor, that I really started into this craziness with diabetes. I ended up crashing. I took insulin in the morning, this one morning, and was at the bank. And when I was at the bank, I started to feel really low and decided, well, I can leave the bank and I can drive to my dad's house. My dad lived like a half a mile away from the bank. I didn't get that half mile. I ended up passing out. I actually passed out driving before I turned onto my dad's street. And so I turned onto my dad's street and I drove about a little less than half a mile. And as you can see in this photo here, I crashed my Ford F-150, totaled it, going about 45 miles an hour, and I crashed into a house. Luckily, I didn't hit any cars, I didn't hit any people, I didn't hurt anybody except for myself. And as you can see in the other photo, that's what I looked like in the hospital. Spent the night in the hospital, and that's one of my stories. I've been in the hospital 3 times. Luckily, Travis hasn't had to experience that. Hopefully he never will. Interesting story about how we found out about Travis being a type 1 diabetic. So I have another son who's a little bit older, and a few years back, or not a few years, just a couple years, less than 2 years, I was coaching both of their soccer teams. And we came back home and my other son came up and said, "Dad, you know what, my energy feels kind of low. Will you test my blood sugar?" So I tested his blood sugar. It was fine, totally normal. And then Travis came up and he's like, "Hey Dad, test mine." So you remember doing that?
Yeah.
Yeah? And so we were quite shocked. He was high. We ended up taking him to the doctor, and he was diagnosed as a type 1. We got all the blood work done, and he got started on insulin. And what was that like at first?
I was confused. I didn't know what was really going on.
Yeah? I mean, all of a sudden you have to do what Dad does and start pricking your finger and pulling blood out of it and testing your blood sugar. Is that weird?
Yeah, at first, but now I'm totally used to it.
Yeah. I mean, how many days after you got diagnosed, when we went to the doctor, how many days after do you remember you started taking your own injections?
Like a week.
We were glad that Travis felt comfortable enough to start his own injections, because, you know, if something happened to Mom and Dad or whatever and he needed to get his insulin, at least he knew how to do it. So how's it been since then? Has it been easy?
Not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. Do we have to test you through the night a lot of the time?
Every day.
Pretty much, right? And so it's a struggle. You're only 11 years old, right?
Yeah.
I mean, whether you're a kid or you're an adult and you've got diabetes, it sucks, right? But even though it sucks, we can choose to have the right attitude. In fact, you'll see another video where I talk about the attitude that we choose as diabetics and how that can really affect us. And so, you know what, despite Travis being diabetic, I got to tell you, as his dad, I am super proud. He has a good attitude about it. He doesn't have the most perfect days. He gets down just like the rest of us, but you know what? He's fighting on, and that's what we hope for you. We hope that you'll embrace the Diabetic team. You'll follow us. You'll subscribe. You'll do whatever is right for you in order to become part of the team, and we're really excited about it. You know, we even got our Diabetic team shirts. Show off your shirt. Look at that. We got our Diabetic team jerseys here together, and we're going to make those available to you as well to become part of that team. And you know what? We're really excited. And for Diabetic team, I'm Tom, and this is Travis. We'll see you out there. Get motivated 365 days a year at diabeticteam.com.